There was a poll done, and it was who's MLB's worst organization? Let's talk to some players and let's see what the worst organizations are. Are you shocked when I tell you the top five worst organizations? I'm just curious. Right now, close your eyes. Unless you're watching me, you could still close your eyes. I'll still be here. If you're listening, I want you to open your ears. And if you're walking or driving, don't close your eyes. Name five organizations, top of your head. Just poof, 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 go, go, go. What do you got? Top five worst. Oakland A's? Oh, sorry, the ass. Yeah. White Sox, Rockies, Marlins, Pirates. Would those be your guesses? Is it the most ridiculous poll you've ever seen? That the top five organizations in an anonymous player poll with the worst reputation are the Athletics, White Sox, Rockies, Marlins, and Pirates? I'm just throwing it out there. Players, what would you say about the Athletics? They're cheap. Well, explain that to me. I want to understand. They're cheap because they're playing in Sacramento? They're cheap because the clubhouse is behind the outfield wall. They're cheap because they don't get great food because on the road you're getting pizza, Subway, or Chick-fil-A or McDonald's? Or are they cheap because they don't want to replace a weight in the weight room in Sacramento because they're spending all their money, like a couple $billion in order to build a stadium in Vegas where I assure you they'll spare no expense if in fact it ever gets off the ground? Or is it because that they've never given out a huge contract, and the biggest contract they've given out was to Luis Severino, who got $60 million, and their payroll is always low. And so the thought is, hey, they don't have more revenue. They're cheap. I guess that's what players think. Wait. I think that's the union. White Sox, players said, oh, it's a dumpster fire through and through. Oh, because they have no good players? Because their payroll is not high enough? Because they don't have a new stadium? Because they have an octogenarian owner who may sell to a middle-aged owner who may be crazier than the devil you know? I can't wait to talk to you about these player polls. I really can't. And I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to make you wait. I'm starting right now. It puts the horse in horse hockey. There are players who are saying Miami, and I don't miss an opportunity criticizing Derek Jeter. Well, now that he's gone and fired because he was the most ineffective executive almost in the history of franchise executives. Miami has no direction, and all their prospects are 17. So they're 7 years away from doing anything. That's what makes them the worst organization? When you are trying to identify when your window's closed versus when it can be open again? Now, notwithstanding the owner lied to you saying, oh, we're a good team, we're going to win way more games than you thought we'd win. Forget all that. That's PR. That's advice from people who don't understand how to run a team. But if an organization has a plan, it may not work, but it's a plan. The Pittsburgh Pirates give players resources, but their owner has zero interest in winning. I'm tired of that narrative. I have spoken. Have you? All the people who complain about Bob Nutting, do you know him? Not one of you do, and I'm not trying to show off. I'm not, believe me. It's not a look at me Louie moment. Been in the game 18 freaking years. I've spent hours speaking to Bob Nutting. Guess what? He wants to win. Every owner in that room wants to win. You know what he doesn't want to do? He doesn't want to be like the other idiot owners who are willing to write checks at the end of a season to lose money. That's why you criticize them and makes them the worst organization? I would like to do a poll of your business. Now, if your business is making money, I'm going to say it's the worst business I've come across. Do I get defensive about this because there are individuals like my esteemed, award-winning, outstanding producer who I love in a way that makes me happy and proud to work with him every day, when his point of view is, I could care less if owners lose $10 billion. I just want players, the best players on my team playing every day. Spoken from the cheap seats, and the cheap seats are all of us, because none of us, we're now in the same seats together. Whether we're in media, whether you're operating something else, or whether you are a toll booth, toll collector of an Easy Pass. You're not running a team. It's not your business. How many times on this show do I have to say the fact that it is just business? How many times, no, the show's not over. We have a whole nother hour. How many times do I have to explain to you that are you basing the worst organizations on payroll? There are things that the Marlins do for their teams. There's things that the Angels do for their players that are extraordinary and out of really place. I'll tell you right now, I could not more vehemently disagree with how they rank this or how players do this. And for all of you, including you, Coco, whispering in my ear right now, then sell the team or move the team. There's 30 teams. There's going to be a team with the lowest payroll and a team with the highest payroll. There's going to be economic disparity based on market when it's a locally revenue generated business. When you make it more national, when you put a salary cap in and a salary floor, then you can criticize because there will be teams that you can judge based on competence. Are there great front offices who can win with small payrolls? Of course there are, but there's plenty who can't also. Give me a break.